Still on the news, we told you that President Bola Tinubu has come out to say that his administration has been responsive to the plight and the pains of Nigerians with the policies that he has rolled out and the interventions that his administration has actually given to the people in terms of palliatives and monies to actually mitigate the effects of his policies. And now, to help us understand this particular claim of the president better, I'm being joined by a public affairs analyst, Ismail Auwal. Ismail, thank you so much for joining us on the news.
Thank you for having me.
So what's your take on President Tinubu's claim that he has been sensitive to the yearnings of Nigerians?
Well, actually, for me, if President Tinubu will say he's sensitive about some of the most difficult, one of the difficult times we are passing through, unless if he has another definition of what is meant to be sensitive. Because you see, we all knew that whenever he wants to talk about issues like this, they would jump and talk about increasing minimum wage to 70,000 naira. But we need to look at other factors. For example, when Tinubu was sworn as a president in May, the petrol price was only 185 naira, less than 200 naira. But yesterday in Kanu, I purchased petrol at 980 naira per liter. So for me, with this, I don't know what sensitive means. Electricity that was only 68 naira, it is now 225 naira. You see, look at inflation. I can remember the last registration fee I paid in Bayer University, Kano, was around 30,000 naira or 35,000 naira. My brother recently paid 95,000 naira. So I don't really understand what he means by being sensitive to the needs of Nigeria. How does 70,000 naira measure up to these increases we have? How does 70,000, how much was the bag of rice, how much is the bag of rice today? So for me, him saying he's sensitive, maybe he has another definition of being sensitive, but I did not see him being sensitive to the needs of Nigerians at all.
Okay, so invariably you are saying that whatever it is he has said or done in the last 1 year has not really benefited anyone. But then I'll still get more reactions from you, Ismail. We need to go on a very short break. When we return, we'll continue with this. Thank you so much for staying with us on News Central. Now, we told you earlier that President Bola Tinubu has said that the various initiatives that his administration had embarked upon shows that he is sensitive to the yearnings of Nigerians. And we have been talking to Ismail Auwal, who is a public affairs analyst, to get his thoughts on this. Auwal, thank you so much for staying with us. Now, earlier on, it seems as though you said that the 70,000 naira minimum wage that was recently signed into law by the president does not in any way benefit Nigerians based on the inflationary pressures and the high cost of living. But the president alluded to other initiatives that he has implemented to actually mitigate the impact on his economic policies. So would you actually fault his interventions or maybe governments at the subnational that have been often accused of sabotaging his efforts?
Well, you see, talking of initiatives, the only initiatives you can really see on ground whenever this government is speaking is largely sharing of rice, everything rice. And also, but I didn't see any initiative or any policy on ground that would really work, that would really ease the difficulties we are facing as Nigeria in terms of the inflation and the cost of things. I didn't see anyone. Of course, I can agree with you that there's a problem with governors, even though some of the governors are denying receiving the bailout he claimed to be sending out to them, which I think he, as the president, of course, I understand he didn't have control over them, but I think he should, as a matter of urgency, know what to do to treat that matter, because these are truly going out of control.
What about the 50,000 naira that he gave to about, according to the Minister of Finance, about 650,000 households got it, and some other grants to MSMEs, student loans, the CNG vehicle initiative that was rolled out? Don't you think all that should at least count for something?
Yes, you see, talking about especially the student loan, of course I would say people are truly getting that, because I've seen people I knew personally that have given access to that student loan. But that's not the problem. The problem is when I collected student loan to finance my study or to fulfill my registration fee, then how am I going to live with other my day-to-day activities? I'll commend President for that, but I don't think it is enough to do away with the difficulties Nigerians are facing through. And even after that, of course, there are arrangements. After you finish, you have to pay, and if you didn't get job, it's 1 or something. But are jobs available? What is President Tinubu doing to make the environment very, very conducive for job creators? What is he doing to create jobs for millions and millions of Nigerians that are coming out of university in the next few years? So I think that while commending him for that, but I think it is not enough to ease the difficulty.
So that would, Ismail, that would in a way mean that you actually agree with his stance that he's sensitive to the yearnings. It's just that the things is done have not been enough.
No, you see, no. It's just that, let me see, just that I can afford an item for 10 naira, and you come to increase the price of that item from 10 naira to 180 naira. And then when I complain, you now say, okay, come, take 180 naira, go and buy that item, and then later repay me. So for me, if it doesn't make sense it doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Okay, so let us quickly talk about the spendings of governments now, including the latest presidential jets. Now, quite a number of people have said that those are necessities, not luxuries, and others have said that it is ill-timed. What's your take?
You see, actually, for me, that is very, 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 very insensitive. Also, for you to buy 100 million naira jet in a time of difficulty, and you are telling us Nigeria is a difficult time, and I didn't see anything from you or your cabinet. Of course, he had this some initiative maybe to stop others from traveling out, but we didn't see him cutting down his spending. And then the next thing we saw him buying 100 million naira jet. For me, that is actually very, very insensitive to Nigerians.
So just to wrap this up, what do you think the Nigerian government, or should I say the Nigerian people, not even the government now, the Nigerian people can do to ensure that, the government is accountable and is responsible to them?
Well, the problem we are having now is, I'm not even sure if the government is listening to our voices anymore. Because if the government is listening to our voices anymore, I'm very sure some things may change. But I would still call on Nigerians generally to continue voicing out their opinions, to continue to voice out the challenges they are facing in. And if the government did not respond in a way it's supposed to, I'm very sure Nigerians don't know what to do.
Ismail Auwal, Public Affairs Analyst, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us.